Here we ask a question nobody dared to ask. If you had a day to live, what show would be your last? What is your last show on earth? This is the last.
My senior year of high school, our final musical was Les Miserables, and I had never seen the musical before, so I went on YouTube, looked up a slime tutorial, and found this one of John Owen Jones. He easily became one of my favorite actors of all time, and I couldn't wait to find out more about him. Bring Him Home, the song I just showed you guys, was easily my favorite song in the whole musical. So like any normal musical theater obsessed kid, I listened to it over and over. And that's when I found Alistair Brammer. Now, you guys might not know who these guys are. You might not care. But to me, I was like clocking it. The moment I saw this dude, I was like, oh my God, he's in the Les Mis movie. They're both in Les Mis. Like, this is so crazy. And guess what? They have a podcast together. And to me, this was the most life-changing experience probably ever. Now, before I get into the podcast, I do want to talk a little bit about how they know each other and why they started working together. In an interview with Lucy Jones, John and Al met with her to talk a little bit about their podcast and their experience working in musical theater. Alistair specifically brings up the first time him and John ever performed together, which also happened to be when Al was still in high school at the age of 16.
It was around the time of the 20th anniversary of the show. It's now the 40th, which is sort of mad. But they did a search for school kids to come and do a West End a sort of mini concert of stars of Les Mis of the future. And I auditioned and got whittled down and got cast as Marius. I was 16. That's the only reason why I got asked back to do the show, was because Cameron remembered who I was and was like, oh, I'll have him. I was 20.
Can I ask a question here? Can I ask a question? Who was playing Valjean when you were doing that?
When you were doing the 20th, it was you, yeah. Yeah, it was.
Because the two were so intertwined with the production of Les Mis, they inevitably got to know each other. So they talk a little bit about how they started the idea for the podcast, and for some reason, Michael Ball is involved.
Well, yeah, I came up with the idea actually, and then
Take us back.
The story is it's Michael Ball's fault in a way, because when we were doing the stage concert of Les Mis, so Al and I have known each other for a long time. We did Les Mis in Dubai together, and during lockdown we reconnected, and we would send WhatsApps to each other and really make each other laugh, you know. And I jokingly said to him one day, oh, this should be a podcast, it's gold. And then was doing this concert with Alfie and Michael, and I was bored one day, you know, waiting to do something, and I said to Michael, oh, you know, if you had like 24 hours to live, what would your last meal be? And then he told me, and then it's like, what about if you went to the theatre, what would it be? If you had 24 hours to live, what show would you like to see above anything else? It could be something you made up, it can be something you never got the chance to see, like West Side Story, original cast. It could be something, you know, that you've always wanted to see but never got the chance. What would it be? And he had like 5 answers, and then I went around the cast and everyone had a different answer. And then I thought, oh, that's the podcast. So I messaged him and gone, we should do a podcast, and this is the idea, and that's what we've done.
And it's called The Last Show on Earth.
Yeah.
This podcast has been what the two have been up to ever since that conversation. And let me tell you, it is a wild ride. Like John said, the whole premise of the show is if you had 24 hours to live, what show would you see? Who would you see it with? And a few other filler questions in between that. They also have a lot of really random and sort of weird questions. Some of these being a Mandy Patinkin impression that John Owen Jones does. So John will sing a song in the way that Mandy Patinkin would sing it, and the person they're interviewing would have to guess the song that John is singing like Mandy Patinkin. There's also a game where the host will ask the person they're interviewing to give 3 words to Alistair, and he'll be able to tell them the exact number of letters in the 3 words. It's good. I swear. It's really good. And another thing they have on the podcast is a celebrity question where they do really awful impressions of celebrities and ask the actors or just people they're interviewing a question.
Question from...
Hello, Aaron. I don't have long. I have to get in the chopper, but I have a question for you. I am known for having an unusual last name, and your name is also unusual. So what I want to know is, what is the etymology of your surname, Aaron?
It's a lot better than it sounds. They've interviewed a large number of popular Broadway stars, including but not limited to Aaron Tveit, Eva Noblezada, Michael Ball, Samantha Barks, and Carrie Hope Fletcher. I would say that the genuine friendship that these two share, regardless of their age gap, really adds to the pleasantness of the environment in the podcast. Some big techniques I've really noticed is their use of honesty and engagement. They really engage me with all the crazy theme songs they have playing in the background, the crazy quizzes. I've never seen a podcast built quite like this one. And you really get to see these big name artists come on the show and just be honest with the audience.
Sounds better than the day that I met Hugh Jackman and Russell Crowe, and I said, my dad's called Hugh and my brother's called Russell. And they went, all right.
Oh, man. Oh, God. That is so you. That is so you.
Man. Why would they care?
Oh, man. That's hilarious.
It's also not a conversation starter. It's a conversation ender.
And that's not really something I feel as someone studying theater that is shown a lot from actors on Broadway. For the dreamers out there, like me, I feel like it's very inspiring to see these actors talking like real people, because we see them on a stage. Literally, we put them on a stage and we see them as that and not much more than that. And so I think it's hard to sort of humanize that experience. So it's really interesting and amazing having this podcast that really shows us that these people came from similar situations that we're in as students now. And that's something I really love about this podcast. It really shows us that these things take time, they take energy, they take effort. And some things are just pure luck.